If Starscream was trying to double-cross this guy, he's got balls of steel, literally and figuratively.
I am directly below the enemy's cannon.
Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back at it again for another Transformers action figure video, and today we're looking at the Transformers concept art series Megatron, inspired from the concept art for the Bumblebee movie. And now taking a look at the infamous concept art of Lord Megatron here at the front. I'm kind of mad he didn't show up in the movie, because this is a really awesome design. Now, Studio Series number 109, concept art Megatron, Hasbro, Transformers Generations, Bumblebee here on the side. Again, got some of that concept art going on. Authentic Transformers! Here on the back of the packaging, just got the product shots and everything, and then you got the... and it says he's a leader class, and that's mostly it for the packaging. And of course, as per, tradition with Studio Series, he comes with a cardboard backdrop, which allows for some nice display options. Megatron only comes with the one accessory, his traditional fusion cannon, which, honestly, I don't really need anything else beyond this. I'm pretty happy with it. And it's a pretty good redesign from his original fusion cannon. I really appreciate the way it looks. Since this just has a 5mm peg, you can easily just plug it into the 5mm port right here on his arm, and that allows him to look a lot more complete. Megatron also features a weapon storage where you can fold away the fusion cannon if you don't want the fusion cannon to be used on his arm, but obviously that's blasphemy. And now taking a look at Megatron's scary looking bucket head. I love this redesign. It's a very good way to kind of homage the original Generation 1 Megatron design, while also adding in some of those Bayverse details which make him look very scary. I would not want to run into this guy in a dark alleyway. Actually, scratch that. I wouldn't want to run into this guy anywhere. And again, that same amount of mechanical detail in his face also goes down to the rest of the body. I don't know why I find it very intimidating that his Decepticon logo is black instead of the traditional purple, but that is very edgy. Again, love a lot of the redesign and mechanical detail here, but I also appreciate not just silver paint, but they also still kept a lot of the red like on the original Generation 1 design. I like how it really gives a little bit of some color separation and also a good contrast to the darker tones of the body. I absolutely love shiny silver paint. It makes it not feel very cheap. And again, the mechanical design here is just immaculate. The details, I also love these little rivets and everything that's all over the place. It's also providing a lot of depth to the figure. There's a lot of great detail. Where's the kibble here? This guy has 3 alt modes. He has a tank mode and a jet mode. Where's all the kibble? I swear, this is black magic engineering. Who at Hasbro HQ sold their soul to make this? The way how this design plays out and how big and buff and bulky he is while also being super dynamic and also being... I really need a new mic. This guy is so intimidating and so, villainous looking that it seems like he could tear Scourge in half. I do not think the true power of a Prime would work on this guy.
The real power of a Prime!
But here's the thing, it's also not just the design itself, it's also just the posability on this guy. It just absolutely blows my mind. He has a ball joint at the head, which allows for his head to swivel all the way around, and it is very nice and stiff. That's what she said. And, it allows for a lot of great posability looking up and down, a little bit of head pivoting, but like I said, it does not feel loose. None of the joints on this figure feel loose. They feel nice and tight very perfectly. That's what she said. Shoulders can rotate a full 360. You'd think that'd be it for the shoulders, but that's not it. They do move in and out, and then he also has a nice butterfly joint moving in there. Also, if you untab the back and use this transformation joint, it allows for even more shoulder posability going all over the place. He's also got a bicep swivel, over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. He also has a swivel here at the forearm. He has a swivel at the wrist. And then his freaking hands are insane. Double hinge joint here at his knuckles, as well as a hinge joint here, and then he has a hinge joint at his index finger and another hinge joint right there. This is masterpiece MP10 level of articulation in the hands. He gets a very nice, buttery, smooth waist swivel. The hip skirts can move out and hinge back and out of the way. And these front skirts, which, by the way, these front skirts move forward with the hinge joint being sideways and not like flipping upward. Very different, but also not a bad design. I actually kind of like it. And it allows for the legs to kick up very far, and it allows them to kick out very freaking wide. And of course, with these hinged back, you can also have his leg kick back very far. He's got a thigh swivel right here. He has double jointed knees bending in very far. His ankles can hinge up, they can hinge down, and he gets fantastic ankle pivot. This guy's freaking articulation is out of this world. Get it? Because he's an alien. Posability alone on this figure is a huge selling point. This is one of the most highly articulated transforming figures that I've ever handled. And that's the thing, he also transforms. But before we go into more in-depth look at his alternate modes, taking a look at the scale on this guy, here he is with Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime, because the Bumblebee movie 1 can go to hell.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Here he is with his communications officer, Soundwave. Here is the Starscream with balls of steel. And then here he is with... Oh, wait, hang on. Come on! Here he is with Scourge. Now let's get into this Megatron's first transformation. And what? Now, I know it's not really anything to, like, lose any mind over, but it's still really impressive that they managed to go from this super highly articulated, like, you know, very seamless looking robot with barely any kibble, and it's still transformed here into a pretty convincing enough shape of a tank. I mean, it is a Cybertronian tank. I mean, there's still, it's clearly still Megatron bits all over the place, but it's still really impressive that it managed to pull this off. And on top of that, the fact that it has a posable turret cannon right here. Like, it's actually a really convincing tank mode. Everything holds together. Nothing feels too, you know, like half A or anything. Like, it actually seems pretty seamless. Yeah, but it doesn't have any rolling wheels or anything. 0 out of 10. Here is Megatron's tank mode with Optimus Prime, Soundwave, Starscream, and then finally here he is with Scourge. Now let's move on into Megatron's flight mode. And wow!
Nice.
Like I said before with the tank mode, I mean, it's not nothing too glamorous, but like I'm still really impressed that there's something aerodynamic that comes out of the bulky robot and bulky tank and still manages to look like, well, this. And there's even parts of this that are dedicated just to this, like this nose cone with that little red visor there. I guess that's meant to look like a cockpit. It's even got dedicated thrusters back here in this little area, and even dedicated wing bits, and like, you know, like it's still a very integrated transformation. It's just there are some bits though, unlike the tank, that are not really connected in, and some of it is a little loose and flaps and such, but thankfully the joints are pretty tight. It's just, you can tell they really had to wing it with this one. But hey, this figure definitely passes the whoosh test. Whoosh! So technically, the fusion cannon doesn't have anywhere to go in this mode, but I mean, that's really stretching for complaints at this point. There is literally a 5mm peg right there and a 5mm porthole right there. That's what she said. Is it the most aerodynamic? No. Does it work? Yes. Here's Megatron's flight mode compared next to Optimus Prime, Goblin Glider, Starscream, next to Rise of the Beasts Scourge. As for some final thoughts on this figure, best Megatron figure ever might sound like a bit of an overstatement, but I am saying it right now, this has got to be the best Megatron toy I own in my collection. And possibly even the best Studio Series Transformer that I own. Because this figure literally manages to be everything I want it to be. The design invokes everything and embodies what I admire about Megatron and why I think he is a great villain in Transformers. He also has everything that I would want in an action figure, and that counts in the posability, the paintwork, the sculpting, and just, the overall of the figure in general, and the fact that this thing transforms not just one alternate mode, but two alternate modes, and the sweet cherry on top is just the fact that there are even endless possibilities of fan modes, like how some people have already been able to make this guy into a handheld gun, like Generation 1, or heck, even a freaking, elephant. So, the possibilities are endless. And again, I love that they also didn't include too many accessories. It means that all the budget that they put toward this figure went into the actual figure itself, the paintwork, engineering, so on and so forth. And yeah, I genuinely think this is a really good figure. So if I had to give him a rating, I think it should be no surprise that I am giving this figure a solid 10 out of 10. Because $50 for this thing, or $56, $60, whatever, after shipping, was worth it. I do not feel an ounce of regret with this figure, which I can't say the same for others. But the overall is I love this thing. And yeah, that is it for this review. So if you guys liked this review, give me a like on the video. Comment down below what you guys think. I want to know what other people's opinions are on this figure. And subscribe to the channel for more Transformers and concept art series figures. I swear these things are going to make me lose more money than anything else. Especially if they do transit. And I'll catch you guys next time.